literally cannot make this stuff up. I mean, literally. This is the wildest thing ever. And you know, it's quite interesting that mainstream media has been completely silent about this, what I'm about to show you guys, these protests that have been going on, because it flies in the face of what they're doing here on American soil. Yeah, we got to talk about a different country, but for good reason. We got to take a trip to Mexico, specifically Mexico City, Mexico, because there have been some protests there that have been going on, and the silence on these is alarming. But check out some of these protests, man. That is not American soil, ladies and gentlemen. Although it looks like a protest that has been going on here, that is Mexico City. And you know what they're protesting? Well, let me tell you. They're protesting because too many Americans are there. They're protesting to get the Americans out of Mexico. Interesting, huh? Interesting. But it gets worse. A lot more interesting. Look at all of that.
Bueno que no estuviste,
Yeah, so you saw more of that there, and like, look at this one. They are going absolutely crazy over the Americans being there. Remember all of those videos of, you know, those leftists that were saying that we're going to leave America, and some of them actually did, and it's quite interesting that now they're being kicked out. At least some of them, at least. Not all of them went to Mexico City, but there are some folks that have gone there. But now they are protesting because the Americans allegedly are driving up the cost of everything. Let me play this story for y'all real quick. Check it out.
These protesters in Mexico City say cross-border migration is changing their country's capital for the worse. Over the last decade, an influx of mostly American so-called digital nomads have moved here to work remotely and also enjoy a cheaper cost of living. Protesters say the newcomers have driven up rents beyond the reach of locals.
If they're going to live in a country, they have to contribute to that country. The first and simplest issue is legal migration. They come here with visas or no visas, and still the change in purchasing power generates these problems of gentrification and displacement.
Hold on, it's quite interesting that now they're advocating for legal migration. Oh my goodness. You can't make this stuff up, man. You literally can't make it up.
If they're going to live in a country, they have to contribute to that country.
Well, I'll be darned. And they must contribute in a positive way. What do you know? Not a foreign concept now, huh? I think now we know why mainstream media has been silent on this story.
First and simplest issue is legal migration. They come here with visas or no visas, and still the change in purchasing power generates these problems of gentrification and displacement.
I'm here because gentrification is just one more step towards colonization, dispossession, and the exploitation of our resources. Right now it's about the people, but it won't be long before they run out of oil, water, or lithium in other countries and come and take them from us.
Many Americans in Mexico are able to still receive high salaries in dollars from U.S. companies by working on laptops from their apartments.
The government is directing its public policies towards people with higher purchasing power, often illegally displacing local populations who have lived in these neighborhoods for 40, 50, and we have even documented cases of up to 60 years. In 5 years, rents have increased by 47%. This is violent for the local population. We are debating whether to pay for electricity, water, or food. Of course, we choose to eat.
Some activists blame Mexico's government for encouraging them. However, there's no simple fix. Imposing tougher visa restrictions on Americans could worsen relations with the U.S. Mexican citizens in the U.S. also send billions of dollars in remittances back to their families in Mexico.
See, now the truth comes out. Because we have been saying this, but of course the folks on the left say, no, they contribute, but you just heard them say they're sending money back. But then you heard the guy in Mexico City say that he wants people that come there to do it legally, but also to make sure that they contribute there. But we're the ones that are called cruel and unusual, right? We're the ones. Meanwhile, right across the border, the same thing is happening, but in reverse. I wonder if all these folks on the left that are protesting would say the same thing about the Mexicans. Would they call them racist? Would they call them mean, nasty, and terrible people because they want to kick innocent Americans out of their country? Would they say the same things? What do y'all think? Let me know.
In a world where travel and communication are faster and easier than ever, these two nations are finding it harder to have neighborly relations. Wilson Dysart, Al Jazeera.
Interesting stuff, huh? Interesting stuff. All the while, meanwhile, here on American soil, all of these leftists say that we're the worst people ever, we're disgusting, and this and that because we want these illegals deported. But it's literally happening right across the border in reverse. They want the Americans deported out of Mexico. And here, this is the way ICE is treated. Yeah, those sounds that you heard were bricks and anything else that they could find that they were launching at that vehicle at ICE agents as they were getting out of there. But, they call that peaceful. Peaceful. The hypocrisy is rich, man. The hypocrisy is rich because they're going to be completely silent about what's happening in Mexico City to Americans. But meanwhile, here, we're mean, nasty, and terrible people. Right. And notice how mainstream media hasn't really talked about that story. Hasn't mentioned it at all. Interesting how that works. Interesting. And their excuse will be, well, it's not happening on American soil. It's not happening in America. Yeah, but it's happening to Americans. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think, man. Crazy stuff, ain't it? The same things that we have been saying here, people in Mexico City are saying there. But it's just, you can't make it up. You literally can't. You literally can't. We were right once again. and we're not crazy, and it goes to show that we aren't crazy because people in other countries are doing the same thing. Get out. If you came here illegally, if you're messing up our country, get out. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.